Welcome to 5 Good Minutes.
You're listening to today's inspirational message, looking at the Messianic Psalms
With Dan Irvin.
Well, maybe you're familiar with the classic movie from the 90s, Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks plays this character, Forrest. Forrest loves to run. At one point, he begins to run, and he ends up attracting quite a following behind him, ends up running across the country, running across America. And a reporter caught up to him in one of the scenes and just simply asked him, Forrest, why'd you do it? Why'd you run? And his response is, I just felt like running. I don't know if you've ever thought about your own life, if you've thought about the situations in which you run. I'm not talking about the Forrest Gump running, but when life hits, do you run? Where do you run? Have you ever felt like just getting out, escaping, running? So you pick up a phone and you scroll and you binge, or maybe you run to control. You think, if I can just isolate the problem, control this situation, work a little bit harder, plan a little bit better, anticipate every possible outcome, I'll be safe. Maybe some of us run to avoid. We just tell ourselves, it's fine. It'll go away if I can just run away for a minute. I'll push it down. I can pretend that whatever's going on isn't there. In this psalm that we are looking at this week, Psalm 34, in this instance, we see David in the middle of a real situation, a real fear, a real need, running for his life. And he says something profound. He says in verse 8, Psalm 34, he says, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. He's not just saying here, know that God is good. He's saying, experience his goodness. Run to him. Take your refuge in him. There's something here as he writes these words that's it's more than just a theory. It's real. You don't just think about tasting food. You can. Maybe you have a favorite food or a favorite restaurant, and when you think about what it tastes like, that's an experience. You get excited about it. But then you can actually take it a step further, and you can go there and you can have the food and you can taste it. You can take it in. You can savor it, every bite, trusting that it will nourish you. It will give you the nutrients that you need to go on with whatever else is happening in your day. And that's kind of what David is saying in this instance when he's talking about taking refuge in God. Maybe that's not your natural response. Maybe you don't normally take refuge in God first when you feel like running, when you feel like getting out. You run to other things, you strategize, you plan, you try to scheme. Perhaps we even turn away from God because you're ashamed, because you think, well, if God only knew where I've been or what I've done or what I'm thinking, then certainly he wouldn't want anything to do with me. And maybe deep down we believe that we can control our own destiny, and we hope that it's not up to what we've done, but really what we're going to do. And we say we can control it from here on out. Whatever's past is past, but I've got this moving forward. When you think about your life when you're little, maybe preschool aged, even younger, think about it. You need someone to determine every moment of your day, every step that you take, what you should eat, when you should eat it, when you should go to sleep, how long you should sleep. All of those things need to be determined for you by a loving adult in your life. And as you get older, you gradually get more excited about making decisions, learning how to live on your own. And if you know anything about having kids, raising kids, they are trying to push the limits of control. How much can I get here? How much can I get away with doing on my own? This is the essence of our human condition of sin, believing in ourselves more than we believe in God. Believing that we can just do enough, we can fix the situation. But David's saying something here. He's saying there's a better way. There's a refuge that actually can hold us. Jesus is the refuge. In John chapter 6, verse 35 in the Gospel of John, Jesus says these words, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never grow hungry. Whoever believes in me will never be thirsty." Jesus is saying here, he is not the last resort. He is not the second option. Jesus is saying that when all else fails, Jesus is the source of life, the one who satisfies. He chooses a very deliberate word here, the bread of life. Bread was a necessity of life in Jesus' day, a staple. The bread of life, it wasn't a luxury. Jesus is not an add-on to our lives. He is the actual refuge for us. He is the very thing our soul longs for, that we run for. Jesus is that thing we need. So here's the question to end with today. Are you running? Where are you running? What are you running towards? If you're not running towards refuge in Jesus, David says in Psalm 34:10, "The lions may grow weak and hungry, but those who seek the Lord lack no good thing." Even the powerful people will realize one day, the lions, that God is the only answer. God is the refuge. When you make him your refuge, you can taste, you can see, you can know that he is good, that he is for us.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.